Today on The Daily, the deciding leg of the CCL quarterfinals, a first in Portland, and a new signing in Dallas. Welcome to The Daily for Wednesday, March 14th with Greg Lawless. I'm Jason Seguini. CONCACAF Champions League quarterfinals will be decided tonight. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Soccer. Santos hosting the Seattle Sounders. Greg, Seattle, a 2-1 aggregate lead.
Yeah, but it is always hard to go down to Mexico and get a result, especially against a team that has firepower like Santos Laguna do. And you look at a guy like Herculez Gomez, obviously. He's the big name for them, especially for the American fans. He knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. He did it against Seattle in the first leg. He's going to look to try and do it again, obviously, in the second leg. Now remember, though, Seattle were undefeated in group stage away from home in CONCACAF Champions League play last fall. So they obviously know how to get results on the road. That's going to be huge for them. I think Rosales, Fernandez, Montero are going to be the key men tonight.
All right, a draw would get them through down in Mexico. In the other game, we had a draw in the first game in Toronto, the LA Galaxy, Toronto FC. This game, 10 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, out at the Home Depot Center. Again, a 2-2 aggregate, Greg, so what's going to happen?
Well, look, Jace, this is all about the fatigue of the LA Galaxy right now. Toronto FC did not play over the weekend. The Galaxy did. They had that 3-1 loss to Real Salt Lake. You might think that's maybe even a little demoralizing. I think head coach Bruce Arena did a good job of deflecting anything from their play by saying it was his fault that he played the wrong guys and they were tired. Now they go into this game against Wednesday knowing all they really need to do is get, basically a 1-1 draw, a 0-0 draw, any sort of win, and they're through. Now, Toronto, on the other hand, they've started to play well. They had that 20-minute stretch where they looked very good at home in the first leg when they took a 2-0 lead. And they traveled out to LA on Sunday night, so they've had plenty of time to rest after the long flight from Toronto. This is going to be a very, very good match.
All right, and don't forget, Julian de Guzman and Nick Soolsma coming back for Toronto FC. That should also be a boost for them. Now let's take a look around the league at some news and notes, and it starts in Portland, where for the first time ever, a Portland Timber was named MLS Player of the Week, and it was Khalif Al-Hassan.
And well-deserved for Khalif Al-Hassan. An assist and a goal against Philadelphia in their 3-1 victory at Geldwin on Monday night. He was dominating in the midfield, taking players on, getting out into the spaces and the flanks. John Spencer on Extra Time just yesterday telling us that he's improved his game over the offseason in particular, where he's figuring out when to play the ball early, when to take a man on, and it obviously paid off.
All right, well, in other news, FC Dallas making a signing yesterday, Luis Pereira, a Colombian forward. As if there weren't enough Colombians in the league, Greg, Dallas find another one that could make a difference for them.
Yeah, this is number 27 in the league now with Colombian players, and it's a striker up top to play alongside Blas Perez. That's what Chelis Hyman came out and said. This was actually picked up also by Fernando Clavijo, the new technical director for Dallas, who actually was a friend of Pereira's father, and that's all. It came through this sort of family connection in here. He brought him up to Dallas, and they're looking for him to partner alongside Blas Perez.
Yeah, and he got off to a good start yesterday. FC Dallas had a reserve league game against Real Salt Lake. He had a goal and an assist in that game in a 3-1 victory. Final note we want to mention, out in Montreal, we're expecting a huge turnout for their home opener, and now we know over 50,000.
Well, Impact coach Jesse Marsch isn't going to need to fire up the team that much with 50,000 fans at Olympic Stadium. It's going to be very loud for the home opener for the Impact. And the Chicago Fire, don't forget, this is their first match of 2012 season, actually, so there's going to be a lot of pressure. Let's see how their nerves do.
On yesterday's Extra Time Radio, we had two great guests, Real Salt Lake head coach Jason Kreis and head coach of the Portland Timbers, John Spencer.
Yeah, and Spenny came out and was very, very funny, by the way. If you haven't heard this interview, it's a riot. And he talked about where this team is going. He talked a little bit about Chris Boyd and how he's having trouble understanding the Scottish even of Chris Boyd. And don't forget, Spencer, a fellow Scot.
All right, Jason Kreis actually had some very interesting things to say, including how they are not aiming for the Supporters' Shield whatsoever. They want MLS Cup and Champions League. That's their goal this year. Should also mention power rankings coming out later on the site, Greg. Big shakeup up top?
I don't think so. I mean, I think everyone will look at it and say that the Galaxy, yeah, they were tired, so they lost to Real Salt Lake in the first game. I think maybe Salt Lake will move up a couple of places, but I think the Galaxy will hold up top. We'll see.
All right, we're wrapping up here on The Daily. Don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow with plenty more.